There is a clear message that is coming through. This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
And we're seeing it in the data. Unvaccinated Americans account for virtually all recent COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths.
We still, to this day, do not have data on people who are coming into the hospitals who are vaccinated. That is a data point that we have lacked.
Oh, yeah. They still talking about that, people. They are still talking about that. And we're not going to forget, baby. We're not going to forget. We the Rock and Roll Rebel Show, baby. We're not going to forget. And welcome back, baby. And welcome back to the Rock and Roll Rebel Show. And boy, oh boy, they say around these parts, we have a show. We have a show. The Durham was on Capitol Hill testifying in front of Congress. And most of Congress was just, you know, tickling stuff and talking about all the lies. And also, Adam Schiff did get censored. So he is going to be punished in some degree. There will be an investigation. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know Adam Schiff is a...
Look at this dumb motherfucker.
He lied about Russia.
Look at this dumb motherfucker.
He lied about everything. He was a leaker. So hopefully something comes from this. Hopefully he will get into it. But let's get into the most important thing of the fact is that the Durham report, he was on Capitol Hill testifying. And he just a bum. I think he was just there covering it up. He had Carter Page. He had McComey. He didn't interview none of these people. He had all of them, baby. He had all of them. He didn't interview nobody. So it's like a little cover up. They knew Hillary had it. Hillary knew. Hillary sent out the Steele dossier to make like Trump was doing something in Russia because she knew she was emails or something. Then Comey covered for her. The FBI director covered for her. The CIA with Brennan covered for her. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. Nobody cares. There are some good ones out there. That Anna Paulina got Adam Schiff censored. She lost. The bill got shot down last week because you had those 20 cowards, rhino Republicans, we'll say, and but she stayed persistent because she's in the jungle, baby. She's in the zone, and so he got censored. But let's get into the big story. Let's get into the Durham show and see what we got for that. I mean, he went on there and talked about how he could only do so much stuff. He couldn't do everything, which doesn't make sense. He was there to investigate. He did 5 years to investigate, and he got nothing. Comes up with nothing. Nobody goes to jail. Nothing. I don't understand. Why does that happen? How can that happen? You know what I'm saying? I guess this is what they tell me.
Shut up, bitch.
That's what they tell me. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. Nobody understands. But what are you going to do, people? What are you going to do? That's why I say you got to get out and vote. We got to get out and vote. And I know people are busy. People are busy. They're not paying attention. But, you know, when you're out next time, you know, bring stuff up. I guess there was an airplane flight where people were all on the airplane talking about like they didn't know. They didn't know this. They didn't know that. And people were just starting to discuss. So people are waking up. I'm proud that you're waking up. Hopefully you tune into some real media. You know, you got your Tuckers. You got your Jimmy Dores. You got your Dan Bonginos. You got the Rock and Roll Rebel Show. We're speaking truth, and hopefully the word spreads. You know what I'm saying? It spreads far and long so we can get this country back. They need to go up to the 7th floor of the FBI building and put a padlock on the door and kick all them out to start with. Hopefully Trump will do something like that, but let's get into a little something. I just want to get into the Matt Gaetz thing. Matt Gaetz is going to sum this up pretty much. He basically is going to break this all down. This is all the real truth coming out right here. The rest is all just mumbo jumbos. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this. Matt Gaetz is a real patriot, like I said, with Anna Paulina. She got Adam Schiff censored. Let's pull this up. Let's see if we can't pull this up. Oh, my. It's full screen and a half, baby. All right. There we go. I know y'all want to see my pretty face, right? Huh? No? Maybe so? Who knows? Who knows?
Can we get much higher?
Who knows? You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's play this. Let's get into this. This is a few minutes. This is great. This sums this all up. We got the freedom fighters in there, and it's going to take all of us out there, baby. It's going to take all of us. So let's get this playing.
The gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Biggs. You've given us testimony today that you're disappointed that the FBI didn't cooperate more, right? That was your testimony.
Said that.
Yeah, so we're disappointed too, but the difference is when regular folks do things that are wrong and unlawful, there's typically greater effort to try to get those people before a grand jury to utilize criminal process where appropriate, not for other purposes. And it's just like, oh, well, Bill Priestep, the guy who might have set this whole op in motion, he just didn't want to talk to you about certain things, and you were real accommodating to that. And then Mifsud, the person who juices Papadopoulos to create this predicate that you find improper. You guys, I mean, did you ever know who his lawyer was, Mifsud's lawyer?
I talked to his lawyer in Europe. I don't know if
so wait, you could find the guy's lawyer, but you couldn't find him?
We contacted somebody that we knew had represented him in a part of the effort to try to locate him.
And you got the lawyer. And then now you're sitting here in front of the judiciary saying you could find the guy's lawyer, but you couldn't effectuate the service of a subpoena because you couldn't find him?
Well,
do you know how silly that sounds?
As you may or may not know, we wouldn't have the authority to serve a subpoena overseas. The lawyer didn't know where Mifsud was. He was in communication with him, but he claimed not to know where he was.
Tell that to Julian Assange.
And we were trying to arrange an opportunity to talk to Mifsud.
Did you take possession of 2 BlackBerry phones from Mifsud in any way?
There were phones that were provided to us by
so you could find the
Mifsud's
phones,
lawyer.
but not the guy.
Correct?
Do you see how silly this looks? Like you found the lawyer, you found the phones, but the actual dude who got ordered by Western intelligence to go start this thing you couldn't find? It's kind of laughable. It seems like more than disappointment. It seems like you weren't really trying to expose the true core of the corruption. That you were trying to go at it another way.
Yeah. As we said in the report and as I said in my opening remarks, we pursued the facts as best we could.
Well, how about this
tools
fact?
that we have?
Okay, how about this fact, Mr. Durham? The entire Mueller team does a hard reset on their Apple phone in synchronization to wipe away evidence. Did you investigate that?
I've read that.
Well, why did you investigate it? Who gave the order on the Mueller team to wipe the phones?
Yeah, that was not something that we were asked to look at, and we didn't.
No, that's not true, Mr. Durham. That is not true because I'm holding the document that authorizes your activity.
Get him.
And it specifically says the investigation of Special Counsel Robert Mueller. It's in Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the order that says that you're supposed to investigate these things. And so, like, whether it's the Mueller team, Mifsud, how about Azra Turk? Azra Turk, what's Azra Turk's real name? Do you know that?
I'm not going to be disclosing the names of FBI personnel that are otherwise unavailable.
But an FBI, so the FBI sends somebody to go honeypot George Papadopoulos. Who gave the order to do that?
It doesn't matter.
I think that's beyond the scope of what's in the report.
It's literally the scope of what your charging order is. Who put it in motion? We get after it was put in motion, the FBI did a bunch of wrong and corrupt things.
This is pure
totally
fire,
understand.
baby.
We're trying to deal with that. But when you are part of the cover-up, Mr. Durham, then it makes our job harder.
Yeah, well, if that's your thought, I mean, there's no way of dissuading you from that. I can tell you that it's offensive and that the people who worked on this investigation have spent their lives trying to protect the people in this country and pursue within the law what it is that we are authorized to do.
You tried 2 cases, lost both of them, and then the one guilty plea you got, Kleinsmith is back to practicing law in Washington, D.C. today.
Yeah, that's beyond my control.
Right, but the fact that you allowed that plea to occur, right, and then the punishment was insufficient, the fact that you didn't charge Andrew McCabe, you didn't convict the lying Democrats or the lying Russians, you didn't investigate Mifsud or the Mueller probe, even though, as we sit here today in black letter, that was your charge. Have you ever heard of the Washington Generals?
The Washington Generals, yes.
Yeah, and they're the team that basically gets paid to show up and lose, right?
Well, I'm sure that the players who exert blood, sweat, and tears don't view it that way, but you might.
I think they do. I think they do because the job of the Washington Generals is to show up every night and to play the Harlem Globetrotters. And their job is to lose.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of a different thing.
Yeah, so their job is to lose. And I'm kind of wondering, And it just seems so facially obvious that it's not what's in your report that's telling. It's the omission. It's the lack of work you did. And for the people like the chairman who put trust in you, I think you let them down. I think you let the country down. And you are one of the barriers to the true accountability that we need.
Do I get to respond to that or comment on that? Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've ever investigated a crime. If
I don't know that you
investigated
have.
a
You didn't investigate these, Mr. Durham.
whether or
How about
not,
Andy McCabe? Did you charge him? Did you investigate him?
Gentlemen, time has expired. The witness can respond, and then we'll move on to our last.
I don't know, sir, whether or not you've ever had occasion to try to investigate crimes under the rules and regulations and under the Constitution that we're bound by. We can gather evidence in particularly lawful ways. Can't charge people because we might think
It's not just
something.
that
We
you
can
didn't
charge
you
people.
didn't investigate.
Gentlemen's
You didn't
time.
investigate the Mueller team
Gentlemen's
wiping their
time.
phones, and you
Gentlemen's
won't tell
time.
us who gave the orders because you're protecting those people.
Gentleman's time has expired. The gentlelady from Wyoming is recognized.
Pure fire, baby. Pure fire. So there basically sums it up. Durham was just out there doing cover up. Nobody is going to get indicted. Nobody's going to jail for the lies that they told to the American people the whole time. People got arrested from Trump teams for all this lies. Michael Flynn, all this stuff. George Papadopoulos. I don't understand, people. I don't understand. There's 2 tiers of justice. We know that because we talked yesterday about Hunter Biden getting a slap on the wrist when you had Wesley Snipes go to jail. You had Mike the Situation from, what was that, Jersey Shores, go to jail for tax evasion, fraud for not paying. But old Hunter Biden can go in his laptop from hell. But I don't know. It's also with the Anthony Weiner laptop. You don't want to know what's on there. Some say it's that frazzle drip. You don't want to look into that. But that's something to Hillary Clinton or something. But who knows what these crazy people are into. But let's get into Adam Schiff, baby. Let's get into Adam Schiff. Oh, Shifty Shift, baby. Hopefully something happens to him. I think he might. He's gonna have a little investigation. He's gonna be censored on the House floor. I think where they're gonna tell him about how they lied and all that. So that'll be fun. And then you got all these other people trying to defend him, but he's a bum. He's a straight up bum. Did you see the way the Democrats acted when I guess the vote came in? They all started going, shame, shame, shame. I mean, what's wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? But that's how I feel with these people. I mean, these are elected officials trying to run this country, and these people are dumb as rocks, man. They're dumb as rocks. I think we go through the phone book and just point someone, let them run it. They're going to do a lot better job. But this is, let's pull this up, because McCarthy, they voted like 213 to 209. So, whoa. So, got a little technical difficulties. Let's pull this up. And bring this up. And just listen to these crybabies when they censor Schiff.
On this vote, the ayes are 213 and the nays are 209. With 6 answering present, the resolution adopted. Without objection, the motion to consider is laid on the table. House will be in order. I'll wait.
Look at these crybabies, baby. Everyone yelling shame right there. Everyone yelling shame right there is your enemy. These are your enemies. I don't know what they're doing. They get bought off. You know what I mean? They have that James O'Keefe BlackRock. If you go to James O'Keefe on Twitter with BlackRock, I guess he got that executive pretty much saying what they do. They own like 20% of all the corporations. You have that ESG score where you want to be woke. I mean, look at Bud Light and Target. They're suffering. So we're going to do it with our dollars, baby. We're going to do it with our dollars. You got these clowns just yelling shame, shame, shame. But we're going to vote them all out. We're going to vote them all out. This is what we do. This is the Rock and Roll Rebel Show. This is the jungle, baby. And thank you all for tuning in, baby. Tuning in, liking, and subscribing. And I will talk to you all mañana, baby.